Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Butterbar here. So in today's video, another Throwback Thursday to go back and play old games, and what a good excuse to actually go back and play a game that has a whole lot of hype now for the sequel. So if you haven't already checked it out, go out and check out the Shadow of War, the Middle-earth game, the sequel to Shadow of Mordor. This game looks amazing. The hype for me is very real because of how much the Shadow of Mordor game affected, the way I play games now, what I find most enjoyable in life. And this game, even for how old it is, 3-4 years old, this game is quite amazing. And I recommend anybody that, if you have not played this game yet, it is such a good buy. I think it's only like $20 for the Game of the Year edition on Xbox Live. If you get a chance, please play this game because you will be blown away from how good this game really is. And the fact that, not a whole lot of noise was made about a sequel coming out to this game. I am so excited that, for such a great game that you don't see a whole lot of games like this, that a sequel's coming out to such an amazing game. So, in Throwback Thursdays, we always talk about 4 topics about a game that influenced me in my life. And it just gives me an excuse to go back and play games I absolutely love. So the 4 topics are always story, gameplay, music, and the lasting effect that the game actually had. So let's get into story. Well, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody that has not played this game whatsoever, and this is me, giving you the first exposure, I guess, of this video game. So if you haven't played it, don't worry, I'm not going to ruin it for you. So basically, the story is of a ranger in Middle-earth. This ranger's name is Talion, and his family is murdered by orcs. And pretty much you're spending the entire game trying to find out who killed his family. And you're getting help from different people. You're actually getting help from an orc. You're getting help from different humans that are out in Middle-earth. And you'll actually see a special somebody from the Middle-earth Lord of the Rings movies. So it's definitely a great surprise, and it's cool that they actually added this person in. So it's a great story. I'm telling you, you're not going to regret playing this game for the story if that's what you're looking for. Story is what your main, focus is in video games. You will not be disappointed. So let's go into gameplay. So the gameplay is, if you've ever played, Batman Arkham City or Arkham Asylum or something like that, the combat system is pretty much like that. I would say the combat system is like that, and the movement is more like an Assassin's Creed type of video game where you can actually run up, up and down walls, climbing and trying to mount things are pretty easily to do. And the fact that you can actually, there's creatures throughout Middle-earth that you can actually take control of. You actually get this amazing power to where you can actually turn the enemy against each other and put them on your side. And it's actually a cool concept that they developed in the game called the Nemesis system, where you have different enemies throughout Middle-earth, and you can actually either kill them and make this army less strong, or you can actually change these people's allegiance from the enemies to your team. And it's actually pretty cool in how they do it. So the way that they do it is that they have this giant army, and there's captains and there's war chiefs. Well, the captains work for the war chiefs, and if you were able to take over the captains, kind of like in the gameplay you just saw where there was 4 different captains fighting against this war chief, having those captains at your side definitely makes fights so much easier. But then again, also too, if you actually kill all these captains and the war chiefs have no backup, it makes the gameplay a lot easier. And the fact that if you go straight after a war chief and there's several captains alive that are on his side, and you're not going in there but just by yourself, it's definitely something that's hard to do. And I recommend anybody that goes in to fight a war chief, make sure you either killed all the captains, or the better option, the more helpful option, is actually taking over these captains. So it's a cool Nemesis system. I'm happy to see that they're actually bringing it back and making it better in the sequel by taking over these giant castles and dungeons that are actually spread throughout Middle-earth. So they've definitely taken this concept of this game, the really good concept that they had for this game of being able to convert enemies against each other and put them on your side is an awesome thing to see that they're actually adding back into the sequel. So let's get into music. Now you'll actually notice there's not too much music to this game besides this war drum that's kind of happening throughout the battle, and actually makes it more makes you more immersed in the gameplay because it's relative to the Lord of the Rings, type of environment. There's no electrical music or anything. It's all, war drums and actual, percussion music. It's building you up to this fight, and you'll really notice it when you're actually going against the war chiefs. When the war chiefs come out, you'll hear this drum, 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 and the orcs are chanting this dude's name, and it's building you up for this fight that's about to happen. And it's a really cool thing to see, just because you are feeling like, okay, this is something that is right now with these war chiefs that are coming out and the captains that are surrounding him. You know that this is a good fight that's about to come out, and it's going to be a tough fight. You don't know how it's going to go, but based off the music, that music that's building up this, to the climax of this fight, you don't know how it's going to go down, but the music is taking you there and building you up to that. And I really think that's cool that, music can do that to us in movies and in video games as well. It's building us up to something, and it's making us more immersed in what we're doing. So right now I have 2 captains on my side, and I'm going to go after this war chief that only has 1 captain on his side. And it makes everything so much easier when trying to go after these war chiefs and trying to, making pretty much the game easier on yourself once you actually start getting towards the very end of the game. So let's get into the lasting effect that this game has pretty much put on me and pretty much the gaming community. Well, the fact that the sequel, again, another sequel is coming out to a great game, has a tremendous lasting effect to this game, because everybody's going to want to know what was the first game like. And hopefully they're able to continue this momentum that they have with this game, with how great this game is, and hopefully, taking everything in from the first game that they have perfected on, and it actually added to, the gaming community in this game, and hopefully they're able to convert everything they have into this new game, and hopefully it just makes everything a lot better. This game better than in the sequel better. Well, hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this Throwback Thursday video. It was definitely a lot of fun to make. I really enjoy going back and playing old games, and it's a whole lot of fun. It just gives me this great excuse to go back and play the games that I absolutely love. So again, if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I definitely appreciate it if you guys subscribe to the channel. That way you guys never miss a new video that comes out. But I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you next time.